Good morning. My name is Sharice Pryor, and I'm a reparations advocate, attorney, and direct descendant of American chattel slavery on both sides of my family. Almost 250 years ago, my ancestors were considered as 3/5 of man, but in today's California legislative session, I'm considered less than that. None of the 4 areas of this special session that are being covered today cover our communities or address our specific issues. I'm here today to bring attention to the needs of Black Americans and the need for our legal and social protections as this special legislative session convenes. Recently in Los Angeles, LA Unified was hit with a lawsuit by a conservative legal group fueled by a prior Trump administration. The Black Student Achievement Program, also known as BSAP, was told by the Biden administration attorneys that they had to open the program to other students who are not Black, even though Black students are at the bottom of every achievement gap in LA Unified, and the program aimed to address those issues. There was no special session for those students, no emergency resolutions. Not only did the California government not intervene, but they didn't defend the BSAP program. Not LA Unified, not LA City Council, not the LA Mayor, not the LA County Board of Supervisors. Everyone folded and acted like what happened was okay. Everyone is acting like anti-Blackness and what always happens to Black people is okay. Well, it's not. LAUSD, LA City Council, and LA County Board of Supervisors can draft emergency resolutions for the immigrant and transgender communities, but they have failed to protect Black students and residents from anti-Black attacks and anti-Black legislation. We just want equal protection under the law and demand the following. Number 1, reintroduction of reparations legislation during the special section. This includes, but is not limited to, A, revival of key reparations bills, including the establishment of a reparations fund and the California African American Freedmen Agency, also known as CAFA. B, support for housing grants, property tax relief, and land reclamation, addressing unjust property takings. C, request for a $12 million allocation for CAFA and a full accounting of the existing $12 million earmarked for reparations legislation. Query, did the $12 million set aside for reparations in our state budget get dissolved back into the general fund? Is it being used to fund anti-Trump litigation? Number 2, we would like to see a distribution of the final Reparations Task Force report, calling for the printing and dissemination of the report, the final report to schools and libraries statewide to educate the public on its findings and recommendation, and finally, establish a defense fund. Proposal to create a dedicated $10 million fund to support the implementation and legal defense of the reparations report and associated bills. Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you all for being here this morning. My name is Consa Jones Muhammad, and I'm the president of the National Assembly of American Slavery Descendants. I am also the vice chair of the Los Angeles Reparations Advisory Commission, and today I'm speaking as an individual. The August 31st decision by the California Legislative Black Caucus to refrain from bringing Senator Bradford's historic reparations agency bill and funding bill to the Assembly floor for a vote continued harms as detailed in California's AB 3-1 Reparations Task Force final report. When paired with the governor's veto of the land return bill, where he cited, and I quote, "The bill tasks a non-existent state agency to carry out its various provisions and requirements, making it impossible to implement," end quote. To add insult to injury, the governor by his own hand amended the agency bill where he gutted the agency and called for a 2-year Cal State University commission to define eligibility and genealogy standards that were already defined by the California Reparations Task Force report and could have easily been further defined within the standing up of an actual agency. California is home to the 5th largest population of Black people, specifically descendants of persons enslaved in the United States. The Baldwin Hills Crenshaw community in Los Angeles battles with Maryland's Prince George's County as the wealthiest Black communities in the nation. We are a seasoned voting electorate, and we are citizens that pay our fair share in taxes. Today, we are a lean, assembled coalition of community leaders and advocates with 3 demands, some of which you have already heard, and we command the governor to revive key reparations bills. We command the establishment of the $12 million fund with full accounting of already legislated funds set aside for reparations. We command the formation of a freedmen agency, including support for housing grants, property tax relief, and land reclamation for unjust property takings. And we command a $10 million set aside. He's here to ask for $100 million to defend against Trump. We want a $10 million fund set aside for legal defense of reparations for the implementation of these bills. We also want the final recommendations from the California Task Force to be in every school, every library, every Cal State library in the state. California has been leading the nation in reparations. The advocates in this space have spent 5 years doing the impossible and worked with the legislature to bring foundational reparations policy through both the Senate and Assembly appropriations. Municipalities like Los Angeles have been taking cues from the state's leadership that have both local and federal implications. Governor Newsom called on California to lead as the moral authority for the United States. He stated that citizenship was the most important office in the democracy. Governor Newsom, your citizens are at your doorsteps. We are commanding your unity in this mission with knowledge that reparations are nonpartisan and will not be exploited for political fodder by the Democrats or the Republicans. We will never roll over and intend to stand our ground. In closing, the California Black Freedom Fund and all of their grantees, we ask that you stand in solidarity with us and do not allow corporate America or the Democratic Party to use you for their bidding. We call on the entire state legislature to learn the principles of reparations so that equity bills that do not comport to the United Nations standards for reparations are not paraded around to be anything more than what they actually are, which is just bills. We will not allow civil rights that our living relatives and departed ancestors fought for to be applied to all other populations and not ours. If you are an immigrant, a First Nation person, Choctaw Freedman, Cherokee Freedman, Seminole Freedman, Creek Freedman, or Chickasaw Freedman, we call on you to stand united with us. Our population in California is dwindling. We do not have 10 more years. The time is now. And all inquiries can be sent via email to reparationscollective@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right, the spirit moved.
All right, yeah, I guess it did. Hello, I'm Tullis Miller. I'm not going to talk about all the reparations list. You just heard that from Sharice. They did a really good job of going through and telling what we're demanding. I'm going to take it a different approach. I'm not an activist or a politician, but just a common, concerned U.S. citizen who cares deeply about his community, California, and America. I live in California. I've lived in California all my life. I've spent 17 years as an officer in the United States Army Reserves. I spent 35 years as a CPA and partner in public accounting firms. My desire here today isn't based on my individual circumstances, but a collective want for my community and state. The reparations bills and requests that were talked about today offer a chance for healing and reconciliation, something we have yet to achieve fully. Behind the statistics are real people whose lives continue to be deeply affected by the legacy of enslavement and discrimination, of which I am one. Providing tangible support to those affected not only helps us, but also strengthens the social fabric of our communities. California has a proud history of leading difficult change in America, from environmental policies to safety standards to same-sex marriage and the like. Our state is at the forefront of social and economic reforms. We've always set the standard. It's one of the reasons why I live here and pay all these high taxes. Choosing to take up and pass the bills set forth in 2024 signals to California that we will continue to lead the way, as it always has. It will show America that we have a strong resolve and will be resilient in the face of significant opposition of racial justice. California ain't scared. That's you, Trump. And in closing, the establishment of the first state level reparations task force in 2020 and the comprehensive report released in 2023 with over 100 policy recommendations laid the groundwork. Now it is time to act now on these recommendations and continue California's foundational tradition of leading by example. Thank you.
My name is Booker Cook, and I'm an EDD. I have a doctorate degree in education and master's degree in ethnic studies. And I'm not here to argue anything today. It's already been argued. It's been argued to the point of it not being debatable anymore. The reparations report of 2023 is so comprehensive and so well done that all of those people who worked on it have my highest respects. I think that they should all be given doctorate degrees in history. As a matter of fact, this reparation bill should be, this reparation report should be promoted, according to point 2 here, into all universities and even as early as elementary school, because it's real history. There's nothing left out. No one is omitted. There's nothing added. I've done the research. The histories are fine. I actually teach from that now in my ethnic studies class. I want to say that, just speak briefly about the Freedmen's Bureau. The Freedmen's Bureau was actually the bureau that the group of people that Abraham Lincoln sent to the southern states after emancipation to make sure the black folks had a bootstrap pull up, like Dr. King talked about. They had a boot. They gave them a boot. The boot was that the United States Army went in and took land and gave it to formerly enslaved people and gave them seed and taught them how to farm and gave them protection. This went on for 11 years until Abraham Lincoln was assassinated and Andrew Johnson took over, and a new agreement was made between the North and the South, and part of that agreement was to pull the Freedmen Bureau out. So I don't need to go down that road any further. We know that history, it's in the report. The point here is that the Freedmen Bureau today needs to be reestablished. The work has been done. The history's there, the proof is there. No more arguments, no more debate. Let's just walk through the door. Why would you build a house and not let anybody live in it? This is starting not to make any sense to me. It's like, it's starting to feel like no matter what happens, let's never let black folks progress in this society. Let's keep them at the bottom. Let's give it to everyone else that comes in openly and freely. Let's pretend to give it to them. Let's talk about it for a long, long time. But when it comes to crossing the finish line, let's never give it to them. There seems to be some kind of unspoken agreement amongst neoliberal conservatives. And so I'm wondering why this thing has been created so beautifully and has come to this point where it is static. I have no answer. I'm not in the legislature, but it needs to be looked at. And the last point I want to make is that, according to this, the information I have, someone was dedicated $10 million for the implementation and legal defense of reparations report. Associated bills, that's wonderful. But where's the money? Where is the, I don't know, where's the focus group? Where are the people who this money is supposed to support while they do the work? You know, we don't really have to reinvent the wheel here, folks. We just have to use a model in history. We have wonderful models. We have Native Americans who have casinos. They get stipends. Someone's concerned about we might get drunk and kill ourselves or something if you give us money. There's other ways. There's other financial avenues that can be taken, and we have brilliant people cross cultural lines who can figure this out. But it seems like it's more than that. It seems like it's stagnated, and it seems like it's stagnated on purpose, and we need to look further and deeper into it. Thank you.
Can you say and spell your name real quick? Can you say and spell your name for me real quick? Can everybody say and spell your name for me?
My name is Booker Cook. My name is Booker Cook, B-O-O-K-E-R-C-O-O-K.
Okay.
Doctor.
Doctor, yes. Next.
What you said.
So I am Kansa Jones Muhammad, K-H-A-N-S-A-J-O-N-E-S -M-U-H-A-M-M-A-D. People call me Friday Jones. Thank you.
Sharice Cryer, C-H-E-R-Y-C-E. Last name C-R-Y-E-R. Thank you.
And Tullis Miller, Tullus Miller.